Middlesex Iii Corridor is a great place to do business because you will find everything that you need to work, live, and play in this corridor.
I don't think you're going to find another location that provides the combination of accessibility, labor force quality, and opportunity.
You have access to amazing people. You have access to a variety of housing options.
Workforce, housing, higher education, passive recreation.
We have the space, we have the people, we have the resources.
All of the resources that you need for your business to be successful are right here.
Because of the collaboration and talent pool that exists here and the ability to unify it.
Because of its access to talent, and it's a wonderful place to live.
We have the restaurants, we have the amenities.
And the weather's pretty good too.
Because we are a collaborative bunch of folks who have worked on vision.
I think it's the next place to come to do business in an efficient, affordable, and enjoyable way.
We welcome you with open arms.
The Middlesex Iii Coalition is a regional economic development organization that brings the public and the private sector together to address business development concerns.
A very unique organization that serves industry and serves constituents in a way that brings many of the sectors together. It's about how we create vitality in the region for economic development.
They're convening, bringing together partners, the employers, all the major employers in the region are members of the organization.
We have the workforce development people that are part of the coalition, the institutions of higher education.
They are able to expand the reach that we have here on our Burlington campus in order to connect us with companies and with elected officials and other academic institutions.
And we're very purposeful in our efforts to enrich this area to make it better for the people who live in this area.
We listen to the businesses and we respond to what we hear.
We've got all the building blocks. We could build the most spectacular economic base in the country.
So the Middlesex Iii Corridor runs from Interstate 95 on the south up to the New Hampshire border, from Lexington and Burlington at the south end through the city of Lowell and up to Tingsboro and all 10 communities in between.
The region is very well placed. You can go south to Boston and Logan Airport, you can go north to Manchester, you can hit 495 and head out to Worcester. It doesn't take that long to get to where you need to go.
The proximity to Boston, yet not having the high prices of Boston is really significant.
So businesses that are looking for places to relocate to cut down on commutes, the Middlesex Iii region makes a fantastic location.
Being able to pull talent both from Boston, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire makes this area uniquely positioned and really be a great place for economic development.
Middlesex Iii has helped to homogenize the municipalities in the permitting process so that when a company decides to locate in the area, they pretty much know what to expect.
The biggest thing from a developer standpoint is having a streamlined planning process, zoning process, just getting the permits that you need to have.
A lot of the local cities and towns have worked very hard, whether it's tax incentives or something to help them. Like, all right, we know this is going to be a big investment by moving to the town, but we're willing to kind of work with you.
The city tries to bring all the partners together and work with the company to see how can we help you. Can we bring something to the table? Can we come up with financial tools to help, with tax incentives to help?
We try to streamline the permit process to make it easier for companies to come to town.
Just recently, we've rezoned 9 properties that allows for a little bit more redevelopment opportunity at those sites.
It's really a community that wants business here, and there's partners ready to receive business and work in collaboration.
All of the towns and the city of Lowell have been phenomenal in their responsiveness and their willingness to work towards a common goal of economic development.
Middlesex Iii knows how to get to the people who need to weigh in on a project. They make sure that we have the right people in the room in order to get the project completed.
Certainly right now the sign open in the Middlesex Iii Corridor is out there. The impediments to come here are very few, and this is a place where people want to be. As companies look to locate in an area, the amenities for their employees are a big part of it, and certainly our area provides all of those amenities.
If we have visitors, there's hotels in the area, there's a lot of hosting spaces. Whenever we want to take clients out or suppliers out in the area, we just need to go down the street. There's the best restaurants here.
Amazing restaurants. You can really travel the world and sample a little bit of everything.
And that includes, some of the larger restaurants that are well known nationally, but some of the mom and pops that are here as well.
Everyone has errands to do, right? So with all the amenities, whether it's the grocery stores or the local mom and pop stores, everything's in the area. It's great to be able to have options.
And then we also have a lot of bike trails. Employees can go and ride their bike at lunchtime or decide to commute by bike for work.
The proximity to be able to live, work, and then eat and shop in your community and close by is tremendously valuable, and that certainly is present throughout the area.
We have started to look at economic development through a lens of regional economic development rather than individual towns. It's more like, how do we do this collectively?
If we're completely isolated for all efforts, including zoning changes, different types of business development deals, it's going to take a lot longer for our region to accomplish what our goals are.
The towns tend to coordinate and cooperate as far as best practices and what's best for the region.
We're able to apply for larger, more impactful grant opportunities and funding options to start to connect each of us for our similarities.
It speaks to the commitment of the communities in this region to band together and say, look, we all have our own identities and our own individual interests, but we all have a common goal, which will, if we're successful, will benefit everyone in the corridor.
When municipalities work together, then the businesses work together and organizations work together, and so the entire region will benefit from that.
It's wonderful because for us, our mission is to help create successful businesses, opportunities, jobs, and wealth for individuals and businesses. Without Middlesex Iii Coalition, we wouldn't be able to do that.
Middlesex Iii is a great connector, getting people in the room that really want to do good for the area.
What I love about this area is the collaboration and the partnerships that happen.
There's a lot of collaboration, professional collaboration between the major players and the minor players, and they will contract with each other.
A lot of the large businesses get a lot of their services and support locally from small businesses, and the small businesses want to be located in an area that they have these large customers so that they can continue to offer their services.
Larger companies are really very intentional and deliberate about, using a local restaurant to cater their events, sourcing products locally.
Wherever we can, we do engage with small, businesses. When we do have, let's say, any kind of work happening, on campus or on site, we do work with local companies, and that provides for that strong base to grow and that community feeling to grow.
Small business and large business really work together in terms of what makes the area successful. One doesn't really exist well without the other.
Good planning, really good planning, takes 20 years. 3rd Avenue in Burlington, the old Nordblum site. You know when we wrote the bylaws for that? 2007. But you have to have the vision. I had dinner on a Friday night on 3rd Avenue. It was a nice summer evening. The air was soft. They had a gentleman on a piano in the distance. And the vibrancy, the kids were playing on the green. People were dining and chatting. I looked out and I said, this is what we thought we could achieve, and we did it. And I know, because I was there in the beginning, what the vision was. And that's where Middlesex Iii plays a valuable role. They bring all the thought leaders together, a lot of good, talented people sitting around. And I always say, leave your personal agenda at the door, but let's look at the macro outcome. And you'd be surprised that once people adopt that philosophy, good decisions are made.
We've had a lot of great partnerships to bring the business community and the educational institutions together to ensure that the workforce is meeting the needs of the businesses.
We're very lucky that we have great academic institutions between Middlesex Community College that can create unique programs for the demands of the employee pool that's coming into the region. University of Lowell, which the technology is incredible, and Northeastern.
We educate the workforce. We conduct research related to the needs of the industries and the innovations in the region.
We work very closely with UMass Lowell, their co-op internship type programs, working with professors where we'll subcontract work to them. So we've also done a lot of work with Middlesex Community College and what we continue to get additional training for our people.
In partnership with Middlesex Community College, we've been able to address needs within our own organization. They've been able to customize programming to support professional development in healthcare.
Everything from English as a second language to leadership training, whatever the hospital needs, we will help to provide that.
Being able to connect employers and educational institutions so they can have an open dialogue, that's something that really is important. It normally would take a long time. It happens at a conversation at a table at a Middlesex III meeting.
I recently led the permitting team on a major distribution facility for Home Depot.
Very, very, very complicated development. The project was located in 3 towns. It was in Lowell, Tewksbury, Billerica. It was 100 plus acres of land, close to 800,000 square feet.
Close to a $100 million project, so the tax revenue for both communities is huge.
It's a very significant 700,000 square foot facility that will be a big job generator.
Our job was to get the communities to sit down together and see where there was a commonality, how we can interpret regulations and work together to create a really vibrant opportunity.
We had to aggregate 3 separate planning boards, 3 separate assessors, 3 separate selectmen. The first call that we made was to Stephanie, and Stephanie got everybody in those representative communities. And the first meeting was wonderful because we had a friendly person that helped us circumvent the different departments within each town.
The team did a really good job of wanting to make sure that they weren't proceeding too quickly with one town without the other town having the information. So it was a really good exercise in collaboration.
It was really a professionally rewarding experience. And as a result, the facility is nearing completion. It will be hundreds of jobs.
From an economic development standpoint, that's a big addition to the town.
It was a win-win-win all the way around for the 3 parties.
It doesn't get more and more challenging than that.
This north suburban side of Boston, which is the Middlesex III Corridor, it's very well known as a hub for life sciences.
Life science booming in this region, which demands high technology, the ability to react to a very quick permitting process.
The speed to market is so critical, and these companies are used to moving very quickly. So the municipalities have adjusted as well, and they're meeting the speeds and time demands of the companies.
It's unique because of the existence of our educational institutions, which helps spur some of that initial resource, and the investment by the region in life sciences to help promote and keep it growing.
Everyone talks about life sciences, and I think we do have the opportunity because we do have the space, the workforce, and we do have the incentives.
Just recently, we've rezoned 9 properties, which allows for life science uses by right. That shows, where the town is, that they want to make these adjustments to their land use policies to welcome life sciences.
Life sciences is one of our growth areas. Bedford has over 30 life science companies.
Using a nuclear terminology, there's a critical mass. There's so many life sciences companies with so many people that it creates its own ongoing chain reaction.
You can live here, you can work here, but you can grow here.
I think it's the greatest place to live. You can go to the beach, you can go up to the mountains, great schools, great communities where people want to live and raise their families.
It's diverse. Anything that you can think of that you want to experience, you can actually find something that you love here.
And we also have access to exceptional medical facilities with Lowell General and Circle Health.
It's New England, and you get a much smaller community feeling, between different events that happen locally, and that adds cachet.
Being in this area gives folks a lot of choice and diversity, whether it is work or play, and that's really important in helping us attract a workforce that is of the highest caliber.
The only real freedom you get when you start in the company is you get to put it where you want it. From 128 up to 495 and even beyond, there are colleges, universities, tons of different housing options, places to eat and shop and things to do, and we recruit based upon those types of benefits.
Everybody is anxious for quality of life, and when you live closer to where you work, it makes your day go by a lot easier.
We can give you 3 hours of your life back if you locate to the Middlesex III area. You can get a place to live, a place to work, all the amenities, great school systems. It really is a great place to be.
Northeastern University is a Tier 1 research university, and over the last several years has opened regional campuses around the country and internationally. And one of those regional campuses has been Northeastern University's Innovation Campus at Burlington, Mass.
This area is ripe for innovation in part because we have talent, but also because we have so many different innovation companies. This is the hub for robotics, for instance, along the Middlesex III Corridor.
What we do here on the Innovation Campus is we co-locate university labs with industry labs with government labs and programs. We have world-class researchers here from the university making world-class discoveries. We want those discoveries to be put into practical use. Who better than to bring companies in to draw that research and put it into practical use?
And we provide the technical support and infrastructure that they need in order for them to be able to be on this campus and thrive.
We're a vertical farming technology developer, so we find ways to farm food much more sustainably, and we develop our own robotic technology to actually do that. And why we're here is really because of Northeastern and being in Burlington, which is becoming an innovation hub. Northeastern attracts, the biggest and the best, and we get all those names walking through our halls on a daily basis almost. We get to showcase what we're doing. We made some amazing connections, and they lended a hand to us and gave us amazing resources and an amazing community to be in.
It's purposeful collaboration and partnership to drive innovation. There is a rich pool of talent in the Middlesex III Corridor.
It is a wide range of types of workforce. When you look at the demographics, the workforce already lives here. You can see it in the housing demographics, you can see it in the education demographics.
This whole corridor realized what talent pool is here, and then coordinated bringing that talent pool to the market demands.
Between the universities, if you look at the engineering skill set and then the other companies that are around, and then there's a good skill set or knowledge.
You get a real diverse population, not only with talent, but with the type of skills people are looking for. It brings tremendous value, not to just in the employers, but an employee looking for other opportunities.
The workforce is there today and is growing and well positioned for those companies wanting to come into the region.
When companies are looking for that talented workforce, they can find it here.
No one chooses a location to live and or work just because of their community without looking at the region. So it's important for all the communities that your neighbors are vibrant.
If a big business moves into one town, their employees could be living in a connecting town or shopping or going out to eat.
Their children may attend a private school in a neighboring community. They may move as their jobs move throughout the corridor.
If I get
300,000 square feet of commercial project. That means that more people to shop around, more people to have lunch and dinners, meetings, and their gatherings. It's a win-win for each and every town.
Whatever goes in this area helps everybody, because whether or not the businesses are getting the benefits of people visiting them, moving into the community, supporting the local businesses.
Each community has their own identity, and if you went up and down the corridor, you'd see that. But they all have a common objective, which is the welfare of their residents and the overall vitality of the corridors.
That's really the charm of Middlesex III. When we realize that one community has part of the solution, maybe some of the jobs, another one has the housing, another one has the recreation. When it's packaged all together, it's quite an attractive area.
That's a shift in mindset that is critical for development. That realization is I think, the shining success of Middlesex III.
When you have one facility that locates in a market, then other companies know that there's offshoots related to that company and that product line, because you know the talent pool exists. The intellectual capital, the workforce is there and available, and it really just builds on each other.
We call that clustering. The clusters happen because that's where the technology is, that's where the brains are. If you look at the life sciences area, they tend to cluster. You look at technology companies, they tend to cluster. So this area has always had opportunities, going back to the digital and the Lang days, of having those clusters of people with certain skills, and they're all still here.
When you're in this area, honestly, regardless of where you work, you are part of a bigger ecosystem of people who have grown up in the industry and understand the challenges of the industry and the opportunities with the industry. I think that's a big part of what continues to challenge and retain a lot of the talent in the area.
One of the biggest challenges that we have all along the Route 3 corridor is getting the daytime population back and trying to show that there is a direct relationship between those that come to work in the larger companies and the smaller businesses that benefit from that spending power.
Not just amenities, but in terms of where they get office supplies or materials to make their products is very often supported by local small businesses.
A lot of our small businesses are owned by people who live in the community, who grew up there. So they're really mindful of how their small piece can contribute to the overall fabric and improvement of the community.
We're currently doing a Shop 978 program to help restaurants, retailers, entertainment venues, and recreational facilities market what they do and get people into their locations.
And everybody, I feel, is so focused these days on giving back to the communities and really wanting everybody to thrive. And I think that's exactly what this corridor does. It helps everybody thrive.
Middlesex Community College has been a partner to Lowell General Hospital for several years and one of our finest partnerships.
If an employer has tuition reimbursement, which Lowell General does, we work with them so that the employee can access education and training on our campus, whether it's credit or non-credit, and the employee does not have to put the money up front.
Because that's often a barrier for our employees to accessing higher education. And they were able to partner with us to create a direct billing process.
It's a wonderful sort of amenity for our HR partners with very little risk. And that has increased our ability to serve Lowell General Hospital exponentially.
We take that barrier out of the process for our employees, and they're better able to access the resources of the community college. So it enriches their career. They're better able to serve our patients and take care of the people in the Middlesex III community.
This is an ecosystem. If we're attracting companies, together we're going to be stronger and be a more attractive region.
There's strength in numbers. It's not just about our individual towns.
I think Middlesex III is brilliant in its connectedness. There's a lot of value in working within the region and creating those partnerships.
I need these partners and I need high-value partners. Making those connections and feeling that mutual energy.
Because none of the problems that we're trying to tackle here can happen and get solved without collaboration and partnership.
People is what drives growth, community, long-term sustainability. And so you need forums like these to be able to bring folks together.
Middlesex III helps us focus to solve regional problems and to really make this an attractive region for anyone.
We're not really competing with each other. We are stronger if we work together.